Hello geographers, and welcome to this case study video about coastal management in Lyme Regis. This is part of Unit 1C, so paper 1, third section of the paper, and it's from the coastal landscapes topic. Okay, so we study Lyme Regis, which is a nice pretty little seaside town which is on the south coast of England in the county of Dorset. And if you're trying to get your head around where Dorset is, if you think about where Cornwall is, right in the southwest, it then goes Cornwall, then Devon, and then Dorset. Okay? And then you've got places like Bournemouth and the Isle of Wight. So that's where it kind of sits. It's on the English Channel. Okay, now the reasons why Lyme Regis needed coastal management is because we've got clay cliffs which are very weak. We've got a road network, an infrastructure there that needed protecting, the A3052, and we've also got tourism in the area. And tourists bring in £42 million a year to that one small town, so that's a lot of money for the area. 500,000 tourists visit a year. One of the reasons why they visit is to come and see the fossils on the beaches there. It's part of the Jurassic coast, or it's on the edge of the Jurassic coast, and therefore there's a lot of fossils that can be found, and a lot of tourists like to go and do that. And remember, whenever we've got tourism, then we know that that creates jobs and that we get taxes paid from things that people buy, and it creates the multiplier effect. Okay, so what management was used? There was a mixture of hard engineering and soft engineering, and it cost a whopping £50 million. So soft engineering, can squeeze that on. We've got beach nourishment. Okay, so sand being put onto the beaches to make them bigger, to make them absorb more wave energy, and therefore protect the town behind it. We've then got 390 metres of sea walls. This is where the hard engineering kicks in. Okay, so think about 390 metres. That's almost once around a running track. That's quite a big distance of sea wall, so you can see why it was so expensive. And then we've got rock armour at the bottom of the cliffs as well. Okay, so 3 different strategies there, and these 2 over on this side are the hard engineering, and over that side the beach nourishment is the soft engineering. Okay, now the thing that you have to focus on with coastal management is the conflicts that it causes, and there's positives and negatives. We break them down into social, economic and environmental. So if we look at the social ones first, first of all, insurance costs for the people who lived on the cliff tops. For their house insurance, it's decreased, so they have to pay less money each month for their house insurance. So that's quite good for them. But people were annoyed because of the amount of money that the whole scheme costs. Remember, this scheme was £50 million, and it had to be paid for by the rest of Dorset. But it was only benefiting the people in Lyme Regis, so there's a bit of controversy there. If we look at the economic impacts, if we can spell the word economic, that might help. So economically, tourism increased. Okay, increased by 20%, so more tourists visiting the area once all the building work had been done, and therefore, as we know, that creates the multiplier effect which benefits the area, more taxes, more jobs, more money. So very good, but the trouble is with that increase in tourism is your environmental issues. And so we've got more pollution because of more tourist vehicles. Okay, and that's not good for the environment with more cars in the area, noise pollution, air pollution, etc. And then, because of the riprap or rock armour, it buried the fossils. Okay, so the one thing that Lyme Regis was famous for, a lot of that is now being covered up by that rock armour. Okay, and obviously, whenever you think of the engineering techniques that get used, there's pros and cons to them all. Seawalls are obviously made of concrete, so they create a lot of CO2. It causes a lot of disruption when you build seawalls because you've got to dig quite deep foundations. Some of them are built on site, and if they're built on site, then they pour concrete into a big frame that they have to build. So it's very, very visually obtrusive in the area. It makes the area look quite ugly for a while. Pouring concrete into it, then you move the boards away while the concrete sets. Or some of it's made off site and it has to be moved in on big lorries. So you get these big panels of seawall that then get moved in lorries and craned into position. So a lot of disruption there. Rock armour, obviously, a lot of people aren't happy with rock armour because it takes away the the natural view of the beach, and it's usually rocks from somewhere else that have been used there because the beach is made of soft rock or the cliffs are made of soft rock. That's why they need protecting. And then hard rocks from another place, often places like Norway, granite from Norway, are brought across, so they don't fit in with the local geology. Also, remember people can get their legs stuck in them if they're being silly on them as well. So, that is the coastal management case study for Lyme Regis. Hope that's all made sense to you. Please speak to your geography teacher if you ever need any more information of it, and we'll see you soon.